than the number of Māori in mainstream tertiary education.
Question number 8, Gareth Hughes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Energy Resources and asks, does he stand by his statement on fracking that he has full confidence in the ability of councils to manage it when unlined earthen blowdown pits were used without resource consent for well over a decade, and now the soil and groundwater near Kapuni, wellsites in Taranaki, is contaminated?
The Honourable Phil Heatley.
Mr. Speaker, yes, I stand by my statement in the context that it was given. In the case of Kapuni, which the member refers to, water quality sampling in the Kapuni stream has been undertaken by the Regional Council in recent years and has shown no evidence of any impacts. I'm advised that the Taranaki Regional Council have indicated that the storing of fluids now requires a resource consent and pits would need to be lined.
Gareth Hughes.
Why then has the Minister changed his views in regards to Taranaki fracking, that it's been done very, very well, to a statement last week when it was revealed the extent of the soil and water pollution, that it has been, I quote, reasonably managed, there haven't been any significant incidents?
The Honourable Phil Heatley.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I stand by both statements. I disagree with the claims of the member that there's been water pollution. As I said, testing in the stream suggests that there hasn't been. So I see no particular difference between me supporting the activities of hydraulic fracturing in New Zealand, particularly in the Taranaki, over many, many decades. If this is the worst incidents the member can come up with, then I would argue that he's struggling.
Gareth Hughes.
Why then is more than 50 cubic metres of contaminated soil being trucked to Wellington, 300 cubic metres of soil being remediated from the Kapuni well sites, and there is a plume of dissolved hydrocarbons under 5 well sites at Kapuni, which the Council's own report says they can't clean up?
The Honourable Phil Heatley.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the soil is being trucked in order to get it tested. Soil isn't groundwater or surface water, I would remind the member. And the reason that there's oil and gas under the wells is the reason why the wells are there. They're trying to get out the oil and gas.
Supplementary.
Gareth Hughes.
How can the Minister still have confidence in the Council's ability to manage fracking when they've allowed the use of pits without consent for over a decade, they've taken no enforcement action against these polluting companies, and they have no plan to clean up the groundwater pollution which has come about because of the use of these blowdown frack pits?
The Honourable Phil Heatley.
Well, Mr. Speaker, as TV3 revealed the other night, for decades the normal practice was to use unlined pits. As the Taranaki Regional Council has said and assured the nation, today the practice is not to use unlined pits. All pits would need to be lined if they were to get a resource consent, and I congratulate them on raising their standards.
Question number 9, Grant Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Is it still his position that the